Good morning, everybody.
Hey!
It's time for me and Redneck Mama to answer your questions. She said, don't talk so loud. How are they going to hear us if we don't talk so loud?
I don't want the whole neighborhood to hear us.
Question number one, Mom, comes from Jay Scott. He says, this isn't really a question, and I want you to comment on his comment. He says, sorry, man, but I could never pimp my mom out to YouTube for a quick buck. Sad day indeed, bro. And I replied, the viewers want to know things and are always asking questions. Besides, they love Redneck Mama. And I bet you're still going to watch. And then I told him, by the way, she's been making videos with me since August of 2010. This is nothing new to her. If you go back and look to 2010 in August, we made rum balls and we've been doing cooking videos together since 2010. So would you like to make a comment on what he thinks? He thinks I'm pimping you out.
Well, I thank you for your concern. However, it's really not necessary because this is not specifically his idea to do this to me.
Right. This was an idea of a viewer. A viewer's idea was to do these questions and answers.
And I thought it was a good idea.
And so did I.
I
so
didn't see anything wrong with it.
Thank you, Courtney Kayla, for the idea.
And who's this guy?
Jay Scott.
Jay Scott, thank you for your concern.
Yeah, thank you for your concern.
But don't worry about it.
No need to worry. She's not being pimped out for a quick buck. We probably won't even make any money off of this video because it's not going to get enough views. That's how YouTube works. Number two, Tyrese Franklin.
Hi, Tyrese.
Niggas for Trump and Falcons. I guess he likes the Atlanta Falcons. He asked, is she single? I'm looking for a big, beautiful woman. Big, beautiful white woman. She seems cute.
I'm an old fart from the century before this one, as I've been told. So you probably won't find me really that interesting or appealing. Sorry about that, but I don't have the energy for a mate of any kind. I'm done.
Look at the camera.
I'm almost dead, okay? And I have no money to leave anybody, so forget about it.
How old are you?
77. And let's see, 10 twelfths. I'm going to be 78. So forget about it, fella.
Forget about it, Tyrese.
Go find you someone that's
Thanks for the
worthy
compliment. He says you're cute. You seem cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now this third question comes from Ningle Dude. Ningledue. Ningle Dude. Is that how you would say that?
I don't know.
Ningledue. See? Ningledue.
Okay.
He says, were you surprised when Kevin fucked up his eye?
Well, of course I was. I thought he had more common sense than to do something like that, but obviously things kind of went awry that he wasn't expecting, and of course I wasn't expecting it either.
Yeah,
that was
a surprise, all right.
a big surprise to both of us.
I'm very fortunate I didn't lose my eye.
Yeah, you certainly are. And
for those of you that are wondering about this question, if you look up Kaboom, don't try this at home, spell Kaboom, Kaboom, that's the video where I blew up my eye. Let's go on to number 4. 4 is Tide Talk with Webb. He asks, what did you think when Kevin told you that he started a YouTube channel?
you know, I don't know if I remember that far back, actually. I don't remember thinking too much about it, that it was anything awful or anything like that. I was glad that he found an interest in hoping that it was going to pan out the way that he was hoping it would. It took a long time for it to even get to this point, and it's not as great as we would like it to be.
Yeah, I'm not rich by far.
No, not yet, anyway.
We're going to take a break before we go to the next question because, as you can hear, comes a jet. Okay, this is a long-time viewer. Thank you for your loyalness and your interest to my channel. William Patterson wants to know, where's Kevin's dad?
He lives in Jacksonville,
Florida.
and we've been divorced since 1978, I think. Long time.
Got divorced when I was just a little toddler, pretty much.
Yeah, he was about 8, I think.
Well, that's not a toddler.
No, you were 6 when he left, and 8, I think, when we got divorced, because we tried to make it work for a while. It just didn't work. And he was an electronics engineer. He worked for the federal government for many years and retired.
And he lives in Jacksonville. Now he does. He lived
Around Jacksonville,
yeah.
let's say, not in Jacksonville.
Number 6 question comes from Cigar Sarge 1. What memory of Kevin when he was growing up sticks in your mind that makes you say, what was he thinking?
God, there's so many. I don't
There are so many.
I don't know that I could zone in.
Probably the
zoom
one
in on
memory
one.
in the backyard in the hole.
That's the scariest one, probably, of all, was,
What was he thinking?
and I'm sure that I knew what you were thinking.
Or when I set the grocery store on fire while you were inside shopping?
Yeah, that could be one.
What was he thinking?
You were about 8, I think.
There have been quite a few incidences with me as a child that she could probably go back to and say, what was he thinking? But which one sticks with you the most?
I believe we went through all this in
A lot of other
videos.
Yeah, we did a
where
lot of
we
different
told
videos.
All the little stories.
But which one sticks with you the most?
Maybe the time that we were at Daytona Beach or New Smyrna Beach, I don't remember which. And
It was Cocoa Beach.
No. They used to let you drive on the beach in your car.
Okay, that would be Daytona.
And we went there.
Hang on. Got that daggum airplane. We'll continue this story in just a second. Okay, continue.
We were just on the beach, and we were, I guess the kids were playing, and I was watching Kevin, and there was a big hill kind of with a wooden staircase, and he was climbing up, and I just let him because I thought he was keeping himself occupied. So when he got close to the top, I decided to go on up there after him. And when I got to the top, he was running his little legs off to I guess some kind of a hotel or something that had a great big swimming pool. And he was headed for the swimming pool. And he couldn't swim at that point because he was not even 2 1/4, I don't think. He was just 2, just barely. And so I started running to try to catch him, but my top of my body, because my mind wanted to get there so fast, the top of my body was going faster than my legs would take me, and I fell a couple times. And when I got back up, he was really close to the pool. I just hollered, "He can't swim, he can't swim." Somebody jumped in and saved him.
I already had gotten in the water?
You were already in the water. I had fallen twice.
Yeah.
Trying to get there. So somebody, and after that, I decided as soon as I could, we had a little, like what they call kiddie cottage next to us, not very far from where we lived, and they had a pool and they gave swimming lessons. All the other children I had swimming lessons at the pond, but Kevin wasn't born then. So I took him to the kiddie college and they drown-proofed him.
How old was
You were just 2 1/4 when I took you there to have
2 years old and learn how to swim.
2 1/4.
Wow.
You loved the water with a passion.
Yeah,
Loved
I do.
it.
I still do love the
He
water.
used to swim in the bathtub when he was like 10 years old with his mask and his snorkel and his flippers. He barely could fit in there to even try to move around, but he loved it. That
Oh.
was probably the scariest, among a lot of other scary things.
Yep.
Catching you with a fire in your hand in the kitchen from the gas stove. That was scary.
Oh boy.
Finding you hanging on a chain link fence trying to get into the neighbor's swimming pool. That was scary. There was a lot of scary things. Kevin would call me and say, "Mom, I'm okay, but I need you to take me to the emergency room." And that happened, I don't
Several
know,
times.
several times. I don't know how many, but a few. One time he inhaled a big heavy-duty pin that looked like a nail, trying to pin an award on his shirt. Got stuck in his,
Windpipe.
just before his lungs, in his bronchial area, just before it went in his lungs. A car sprang for a hood, snapped up and hit him on the cheek,
A hood
right
mount.
near his eye.
Yeah.
One time he was riding his bike and he somehow cut his foot. I didn't have shoes on, I guess.
Yeah,
Those
there's been
are-
lots of times.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
Thank you for your question.
The next question comes from Cheech TV. Where is Redneck Momma from originally?
I was born in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
There you go.
And I ended up here because I married a guy that was born in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. And we traveled a lot of different places. And we ended up in Florida. And when we were divorced, he offered to bring me back if I wanted to. But
That's my dad.
I said no because I wanted the children to be close to their father so they could see him when they wanted to. Because I never had that luxury of being able to visit with my father very much because my parents were divorced also. So I stayed in Florida.
Okay. Number 8 comes from Jeffrey Young. Kevin, do you like fishing or going to the mud runs? Which do you like more? Going fishing or going to the mud runs? I'd have to say I like fishing more because fishing is something I do by myself most of the time. And I really enjoy being by myself. I'm kind of person that prefers to be alone instead of being around people. So a lot of times when a YouTuber asks if he can come meet me or something and whatever like that, I really don't want to meet people because I have a disorder called agoraphobia. And therefore the mud events are very stressful to me, and to get through them I have to drink a lot of alcohol to relieve the anxiety that it causes me. So fishing is something that I can do and relax by myself. So that answer would have to be fishing. But I do enjoy mud bogging. I love riding through the mud and enjoy mud bogging myself, but haven't gotten a chance to take my truck in quite a few years. So, but fishing is probably, I enjoy fishing more than I would mud bogging. Okay, number 9 comes from Courtney Kayla. So glad you guys are doing this.
Hi, Courtney.
Thank you for the idea. She said, my question is for her. What is her most favorite thing to cook or bake?
So many desserts, so little time, and I'm a diabetic, so it makes it really tough. I know I love eating chocolate pecan pie.
Chocolate
I'm
pecan
not
pie.
saying that's my favorite one to bake necessarily, or to cook. It's really getting difficult for me as I'm getting older because I can't stand a lot, and a lot of the things that need cooking, you need time and you need to stand to do them. Even potato chip chicken takes time to prepare. Even if
Yeah.
it goes in the oven for an hour, then you can sit down. But I like chicken cacciatore, but that's time consuming also. But I make it more often than, because my daughter is very fond of it. So when I do, I make a double batch and I bring one to her and her fiance. I really like cheesecake. I have a nice recipe for cheesecake, and
Yeah.
I don't make it very much though, because it makes too much of a volume and nobody's going to be eating it. So
Okay. Number 10 comes from Keith McDonald. I would like to know if you would ever come to Australia.
who, me or you?
Either one. I would love to go to Australia.
I know you would.
That would be awesome. Australia is so beautiful. And you can drive on the beach there, and they have so much off-roading. I would love it. I would really love it, and I probably wouldn't want to come back home.
Well, we don't have passports, for one thing.
Yeah, I don't have a
I
passport.
think you have to have a passport. I'm not good at traveling anymore. My daughter took me to Massachusetts to see my brother and sister and nieces and nephews that I hadn't seen for 17 and a couple of them 23 years. And my daughter took me for my 70th, was it 70th birthday?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, a few years ago, when they took me off of oxygen, she said she was going to take me, and I don't really care to fly, but we did have a nice time. We visited together. We had a nice little cottage on the water in where was it we were? I don't remember.
I don't know.
And we went
Martha's Vineyard?
No, that wasn't where the cottage was that we stayed at, but it was
I don't know.
anyway, it was really nice, but it was very difficult, and she had to push me in a wheelchair.
Just going to the
everywhere.
grocery store is
So
difficult for her.
it's very. I'm getting ready to have a knee implant,
Full knee replacement.
full knee replacement on the left knee soon. I went to the doctor yesterday, and they're setting up the date to now, pretty soon. And I'm going to be out of commission for a while anyway, but then I need to have the other one done, because before it gets as bad as this one is bone on bone. This one isn't quite there yet, but I know that recuperation is going to be pretty tough.
Yeah.
So trying to travel is very difficult, and I need somebody who can push me around and stuff. I'm not sure that he can do that anymore because of his aortic aneurysm. So I don't see that ever happening. We would love it though, and thank you for asking about it.
11 comes from Southern Cowboy. Okay, number 11 comes from Southern Cowboy. How many places in Florida have you both lived? Which was your favorite?
When we moved here, we moved to Winter Park, Florida.
Winter Park.
We lived there for about a year. Then we lived in Altamont Springs, Florida, which was near there.
Altamont Springs. That's down near Orlando.
That was about 4 years or so.
I don't
Maybe
really
6.
remember none of that because I was just a baby. Then we moved to where? Pensacola?
Yeah.
From there?
Then we moved to Pensacola, Florida, and we lived there for
That's where I grew
a
up.
long time.
I grew up in Pensacola and went to school.
20 years, I think.
Did all my school in Pensacola.
20 years we lived there.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Little Rock, Arkansas for 8.5 years and retired, and then I moved here
To Niceville.
to Niceville. And I think probably this is the place I like most because
The favorite. Mine
I'm
too.
retired and I've been able to plant things, not anymore, but I could plant flowers and
You have a
stuff like that.
really nice city. You know, it's a nice city.
And we have a little pond.
Now we have a
So-
nice place to live. So
So I think we like it here
Niceville's
better.
probably the most favorite place.
We're close to his sister, my daughter,
Yeah.
so that's nice. Yeah, I think we like it
Yep.
here best.
That's what I agree. Number 12, Demolition Farm asks, Kevin, what advice does Mama have for us about daily life? Tough question, huh?
Do you really listen to old people's advice anyway? Is it even worth trying to answer this?
I would say keep your head up, keep a good attitude, and be kind to one another.
Well, I like those things. Those are all good things.
Yeah.
And treat everybody the way you would like to be treated,
Right.
which goes back to being kind
Yeah.
to each other.
Number 13 comes from Ricky Stanley. Hey, Redneck Mama and Kevin, what's y'all's favorite TV show? That's an
Oh
easy
my
one for me.
gosh. Well, you could answer that one.
I
got-
love watching The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah. That is not my particular interest. But there's a lot of TV shows that I like.
If you only had one that you could pick,
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It used to be, but they took it off the air at the end of last year. The Good Wife.
The Good Wife.
That was the most interesting, and they always had plots that were different and interesting to me, and I used to really wait for Sunday nights when that show came on. And when they ended it, I really felt terrible.
Dang, did you see that bird fly right by the camera?
Yeah.
I wonder if the camera picked that up. I doubt it.
As far as now, what's on now, I don't know. I tape a lot of shows and watch them maybe the next day or whenever the season ends and there's nothing on but reruns. I can catch up because I've got that Contour thing, which is a luxury because
Yeah.
it's expensive, but that's our only form of entertainment, really, is television.
Okay, I'm going to pause real quick and then we'll get to the next question.
Well,
Number 14 comes from a name, I'll have to spell it out to you, AIXAMMEGA6. He wants to know, he said, his question is, I would like to ask if Kevin was an young boy, did he was too mischievous? Because he looks like in the past videos. LOL, no offense, buddy, just kidding. What I think he's trying to say is, when I was a young boy, was I mischievous?
I don't consider him having been mischievous. He was just so full of energy and wanted to try so many different things that he almost drove me insane. Oh,
Yeah, I got into a lot of stuff. I was kind of mischievous.
you need
Not
to
on
go,
purpose.
You need to go back and look because we have done some car videos when we've had
Just look
little
up Redneck
trips.
Mama videos and you'll see where she talks about my past a lot.
When I talk about all of his little escapades that
We'll go
Yeah.
just jump straight to number 15, Scott Coat. What was Kevin like as a teenager? Bad.
Well, things just got worse when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got very difficult then.
You can tell the truth.
He ended up in jail. He ended up in prison.
I ended up getting into drugs
Yeah.
and
When he was in jail, somebody threw a pot of hot coffee or hot water on his head.
broke a
and
pot of hot water over my
burned
head.
him
Yeah.
with that hot water terribly. And they don't take very good care of you in jail prison.
Yeah.
And I wasn't around to even go visit him. I was in Arkansas.
Yeah, I was down here in Florida. Okay.
So-
Yeah, I was a bad teenager.
Thank God that he was able to finally
Figure out how to stay out of
shake himself out of that mess.
stay out of trouble.
And
Quit doing drugs.
he got DUIs. It was just really a mess. And I was a very worried mother for a long time. But for the past
I had lots of girlfriends as a teenager.
Yeah, for the past 7 years or so, We haven't had those kind of problems anymore. He straightened himself
Straighten
out.
myself out.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Number 16 comes from Doc Inc. Doc Incorporated. He says, when I was 15 or 16, I was 6'1" and 200 pounds. Mom was 5 foot and 93 pounds, fully clothed and dripping wet. She kept a plastic wiffle ball bat handy, and when I misbehaved, she would climb my hair like a ladder and hang on with one hand and beat me with that bat. The more I laughed, the harder she swung. My question, and sorry, it's a two-part question. Answer part or none as you wish. What's Mama's best, funniest memory of punishing you? And your favorite, funniest memory of aggravating Mama so bad that she punished you? By the way, my mom still says I deserve it every time. I don't really
not a hitter.
I don't really remember.
I almost hit him with the oar one time,
An oar.
and I decided I wasn't going to do that, and I was getting ready to put it down when he intercepted me, and my arm got a little twisted, but I'm not blaming him because I was going to hit him with it. I don't remember.
What did I do?
I do not remember because you did so many things. I don't remember what that specific
Sneak
thing
the
was.
car, sneak out the car at night while you was asleep.
He totaled my car. He would go out the window and leave the window open so I wasn't protected.
No, I wouldn't leave the window open. I would leave it unlocked because I had to get back in the middle of the night when I came back home.
And a couple times I got up and found him gone, so I locked the window and he couldn't get back in. Punishments really didn't seem to work very well.
Nope, you couldn't put me on restriction because I'd leave anyway. I'd do it. I did what I wanted to. I didn't really listen.
No, he was on house arrest for a year and he never did it.
Yeah.
He always was running out the window.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Number 17, Jane.
Well, do you remember one? They
Oh,
asked if you
I
remember.
don't remember any specific. There's just so many things that I did to aggravate you. I didn't never think anything was funny.
I don't think you did it to aggravate me.
I never had a favorite or a funniest thing to do to aggravate you.
You never did it to aggravate me. You
No.
just did whatever, and it did aggravate me.
No.
But it was not an intentional thing.
I think nowadays my most favorite thing to do that I know aggravates her is pick on her about eating sweets because she's diabetic and she has so many cakes and ice creams in the freezer.
I eat a sliver
Whatever.
the size of my finger every day. That's it. That much.
James Brothers, number 17, asks, Mama, is Kevin an only child?
No. I adopted an older a boy with my husband years ago, and then I had a thyroid condition since I was like 19, and I couldn't have any children for a while till I had surgery, and I had to have a thyroidectomy twice because the first one was a goiter and it grew back. And after that, then I was able to have a boy and a girl, and Kevin.
Yeah.
So there's 4 siblings, 3 boys and 1 girl. Thank God I had a girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have survived.
So I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I could have survived another boy.
Number 18. Jamie Gilliland. What was your favorite Rednecks Gone Wild moment? Moment? My favorite Rednecks Gone Wild moment. Had to have been when me and Happy and his family were at Boggs and Boulders camping that weekend, and we met a family of 4 that came all the way from Ireland to meet us
Yeah.
because they loved our videos so much. They came all the way from Ireland to Alabama to meet us and to camp and enjoy the place that they'd seen us enjoying in so many videos. That's probably got to be my most favorite moment. Meeting those fans from in Ireland. Number 19 comes from Alsatful, Alsatful. When will Redneck Mama come out with a weekly redneck style meal how-to video? The old ways of getting lost is in this fast food era. And you better start listening to Mama. She's probably not ever going to come out with a weekly how to cook this or that video at all. I'm pretty sure of that.
We've pretty much cooked all the stuff that I know how to cook except for baking a turkey. I'm going to do that. Not right now, but, and maybe it won't be Thanksgiving either because my daughter usually invites us over for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to wait and I'm going to bake a turkey because this turkey baking is very different than any other turkey recipe.
Yep, so stay tuned for that. Number 20 comes from name pending and number sign 39 semicolon 78. Kevin, what did you do for work before YouTube? Oh, I did lots of things. But the main job that I held right before YouTube was I owned a business called Emerald Coast Installers. And what I did was I worked for many different interior designers and many different interior design companies and furniture stores that furnished and
made draperies and cornices.
I didn't make the draperies and the cornices. I installed window treatments. Okay, I was an installer for these companies and these designers. I installed window treatments like blinds and draperies and different things. I put pictures on the wall, storm shutters. I installed electronics in all these condos. The DVD players, the stereos, all that stuff. I installed anything. I put together washers and dryers. I installed those things. Anything that real estate type people needed to have installed in homes, I was the installer. I install your mailbox for you. If you bought something like a barbecue grill, I'd come to your house and put it together for you. Whatever. But that's what I did before YouTube. And when the BP oil spill happened out here in the Gulf, that business went straight to downhill because, of course, the real estate business went downhill, and YouTube started to pick up really good for me at some point. So I quit that job and decided to just do YouTube. That was it. We'll wait for this plane to go by to get to the next one. Okay, those doggone airplanes. One of the main reasons that helped me decide to quit doing the window treatments was my back problems and climbing those ladders, carrying the heavy draperies and the cornices and the top treatments and stuff, balances. That stuff's pretty heavy, and my back couldn't handle it much more. And my agoraphobia, my anxiety, and being around the customer and having them stand behind me and watch while I worked a lot of the times caused me a lot of anxiety, and that's another reason I quit. So I was a window treatment installer among other things. Mostly I did window treatments, and I put curtains up along the whole coast. All these condos out here, I've put up a lot of curtains in. And every time they built a new condo, I would be lucky to get the contract to go in and put the curtains and the blinds in every single unit. Draperies are curtains. That's the same thing. Moving on to the next one.
Okay.
But I enjoy doing YouTube. 21. Hell on Reels TV wants to know, how many spankings have I had?
Well, you got a few from your dad. I don't think you ever got any from me.
I don't remember.
You got a few tongue lashings, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, she instead of spanking me when I did something bad, she'd put hot sauce in my mouth.
Ooh, yeah.
She would put make me stick my tongue out, and she would put Tabasco on my tongue as a punishment.
Because you cussed.
Yeah.
Not as a punishment for other things.
Yeah, I started cussing real young too, didn't I? It was part. It's just part of the southern languages, you know. Yeah, I didn't get many spankings. I don't even remember any spankings from my father at all. I was very, very young whenever he was around, so
Probably didn't do that much
probably not.
to annoy him back then.
Number 22 comes from Darren Debenham. Are you planning any more cooking videos? As I think that they are great and have me some cool ideas. Thanks and keep up the great content, and we wish you both good health from across the pond over here in the UK. Well, thank you for watching. I'm sure that there will be more cooking videos. It's just I've already planned to make a turkey video whenever it's time to cook that turkey.
I might, I don't think I've ever made a video on making fudge. I might make
fudge.
that one because I'm going to make fudge again.
There will be more cooking videos because, like the other day, I just came up with fried ravioli, and we'd never done that before. So we'll try some new recipes, and there'll be more cooking videos. So thank you, and stay tuned. And neither one of our healths are that good right now, but we're working on it. There's another plane, doggone it. Hang on, folks. There's another airplane. Number 23, folks. We're getting right down close to the end. Big Jake says, tell her you love her every day. I love you.
I love you too.
And ask her, did she drop you on your head? Probably.
What we really think happened was we think that the extraterrestrials dropped him on the doorstep or swapped him out or something. We're not too sure.
The aliens dropped me off. Yeah. You may have dropped me on my head. Or I probably fell off the couch or something onto my head. Actually, I got hit in the head as a very young boy by a baseball or a softball or something. My brother and sister were throwing, and I got in the way, and bam, and it knocked me out.
They were throwing the ball in the yard, and he wasn't bright enough to notice, and he just ran right between it, and the ball hit him right in the head.
And I went straight, it knocked me straight out. How old was I then?
You were just a little kid, I don't know.
2 years old?
No, you were older than that.
3 or 4?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then I was in a tire swing one time, and I was probably swinging as high as the second story on our house because my brother was pushing me, and I was way up there. And the rope broke, and I came down, and I hit my eyelid right on the corner of the concrete sidewalk, and cut my eyelid open. I had to go to the hospital for stitches, and yeah, so I've been dropped on my head or knocked in the head a couple times. That's for sure. Thank you.
Swing was in a great big tall pine tree.
Yep. Thanks for your question, Big Jake. The next one comes from Todd A66. He said, you are so cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What is your favorite food? Oh, man, that's a tough question.
Right now it's Skittles.
Right, yeah, I like Skittles. But my favorite food, man, I love fresh fried fish. I love so many different foods. I mean, it's hard to say what is a favorite.
What about your London broil?
At one point, my favorite was pizza. London broil. I cook an awesome London broil on the grill. But my favorite, probably, I would have to say, is when we do shish kebab, because that is a combination of steak, chicken,
sausage, pork.
You got potatoes. You got all kinds of good stuff in there. So I would say our shish kebab is probably got to be my favorite.
We're going to do that soon.
We're going to do that pretty soon. We'll probably make a video on doing that because I've done it already. I've done it already, but we can make another one. They don't care to see that again. They just care to see us again, and us just sitting there around bullshitting, doing whatever we're doing while we're cooking, I guess. Okay, so Thank you for your question. Number 25, Brian Clark. Kevin, what's your favorite barbecue food? London broil. That's it. I barbecue London broil on the grill. I do a doggone good job at it, don't I?
Yes, but there's no barbecue sauce on it.
Nope, just smoke from pecan wood.
It's really, really, we had that this week.
You have to pick a really nice, thick, big London broil, and I like to smoke it on very low heat, if any, or maybe just smoke only for a couple of hours, and it comes out so juicy and just right, and so full of flavor.
Our grocery store has every now and then buy one get one free, and it's about that wide by about that long.
Yeah, we'll cut it in half.
We cut it in half because that's too much.
Cut it in half and then freeze it in these suction vacuum bags.
And when he cooks it, there's enough for one meal, and then there's enough left for him to have another meal, and me too. So we end up each having 2 meals out of that one half of a beef because it's that thick.
Yep. And when I cook that, I like to also, when I marinate the meat, I chop up a large sweet onion in there, and I throw that on the grill with it also, and that grilled smoked sweet onion just tastes so good.
We have one of those baskets with holes in it, a metal basket.
It's a grill walk.
And we don't put regular potatoes, we put canned potatoes in, the smaller, already cooked.
You'll see.
And mushrooms. Sometimes we put in peppers, and then we put in the onion, and sometimes tomatoes.
Yep.
Pieces of tomatoes.
Yep.
It's good.
That was the last question. Thank you, everybody, for submitting your questions, and we hope that y'all like the answers. We sure do enjoy doing these videos for y'all, and we appreciate you watching.
Thank you for your interest.
Yes, thank you so much for your interest, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.